20 safe recipes you can try. Dinnerware can make cooking lunch and dinner easy, but not when the recipe calls for boiling, roasting, browning, or other cooking. Enter the cookbook, a simple method of cooking in which a batch of ingredients can be thrown into a slow cooker and allowed to cook for a long time, with the only preparation required being chopping or mixing. You may need to chop the meat or add extra ingredients for a few of these, but not while your meal is being prepared. Ignore super complicated recipes this spring and April and beyond. Celebrate it with these mistakable dinnerware. Evacuation instructions. 1 of 20. Cooked ziti. Ziti recipe that doesn't require boiling. It really is possible, and the kitchen can show you how. Spoiler, just dump the pasta, sauce, ricotta, and mozzarella into your crock-pot and let it do all the work, which can take up to an hour. 2 of 20. Beef and broccoli. Beef broth, soy sauce, oyster sauce, sugar, sesame oil and garlic go into your dish along with thin slices of grilled chuck. Add broccoli and stir in a cornstarch and water mixture 30 minutes before it's done for a simple yet satisfying meal. Get the details at Damn Delicious. 3 out of 20. Beef brisket. Not only does the slow cooker do all the work for this Lil Luna beef recipe, it only requires 5 ingredients: brisket, dry onion soup mix, garlic powder, brown sugar, and chili sauce. After 8 to 10 hours on low, all you have to do is shred the beef. 4 out of 20. Carrot and ginger soup. Before serving this carrot ginger soup, you should use an immersion blender and add the cream, but this is at least 3 hours after you put all the other ingredients in your dish. The busy baker can take the time to show you how to make this one. 5 out of 20. Cheese spinach tortellini. For this dish, all you have to do is pour your tortellini into the pot. Add sauce, water, spinach, and mozzarella, and cook for about an hour with high heat. Please note that the recipe from the kitchen is for fresh tortellini, so if you're using the frozen variety, you'll need to thaw them first. 6 out of 20. Chicken and shrimp gumbo. Start by placing the chicken, red peppers, tomatoes, onions, celery, and spices in your slow cooker. Then put it on low for 6 hours and back off. If you want to add shrimp, all recipes suggests doing so 3 minutes before it's done. 7 out of 20. Bean and pork soup. A bag of dry bean soup mix makes the slow cooker from dinner at the zoo even easier. It also contains ham, onions, celery, garlic, tomatoes, and a mix of spices, but you can omit the meat for a vegetarian version. 8 out of 20. Mac and cheese. If baked ziti can be made in the slow cooker, why not mac and cheese? Jogging in Daman has a creamy and cheesy recipe that can be prepared in just 2 to 3 hours. 9 out of 20. Under the meatballs. This recipe from Real House Moms can tell you how to make the sauce and meatballs from scratch, and then everything goes in the slow cooker for 7 to 8 hours. Short preparation time instead, you can use jar sauce and pre-made frozen meatballs, which only take 3 to 4 hours. 10 out of 20. Meatloaf. We absolutely adore this melt-in-your-mouth beef recipe from Taste of Home. It's moist, flavorful, and your slow cooker does it all. Mix eggs, milk, minced onion, salt, rubbed sage and breadcrumbs. Chop the minced meat over this mixture. Form everything into a ball and stick it in the slow cooker for 5 to 6 hours on high heat or 2 to 3 hours. Just before it's done, toss the bread in a ketchup-based concoction, though personally, we'd swap the ketchup for a 50-50 mix of ketchup and barbecue sauce. 11 of 20. Moroccan chickpea soup. Although it contains squash, red lentils, red peppers, tomatoes, onions and ginger. It's clearly the chickpeas that are the star of this Moroccan stew from Simply Quinoa. As the website name suggests, it is recommended to serve it with a side of quinoa. 12 out of 20. Gourmet. This super simple recipe from Don't Waste the Crumbs only requires 5 ingredients. Place potatoes, carrots, and chuck roast in your pot, cover it with a mixture of dry onion soup and cream of mushroom soup, and cook at low heat for at least 8 hours. Shred the beef just before you're ready to eat. 13 of 20. Pulled pork. Mix paprika, salt, garlic powder, and brown sugar together and pour the mixture over the grilled pork. This recipe from Betty Crocker includes low and high heat options, but we prefer the former, which takes 7 to 8 hours. After shredding the pork, adding barbecue sauce and cooking for another 10 to 15 minutes, it's ready to be stuffed into a bun. We like to add a cup of coleslaw as well. 14 of 20. Ratatouille. We're not sure if Remy Mosh approves of making ratatouille in a slow cooker, but Taste of Home does, and that makes it okay in our book. After seasoning your eggplant and chopping it along with tomatoes, zucchini, onions, green and yellow peppers, olives, garlic, and basil, these ingredients and a couple of others go into the pot for 3 to 4 hours on high. 15 of 20. Salsa chicken. It's difficult to find a recipe easier than the salsa chicken from the typical mom. Place chicken breasts in the bottom of your slow cooker, top with salsa, add some extra onions and optional peppers, sprinkle taco seasoning, and cook on high for 4 hours. You can eat the chicken whole, shred it for a rice bowl, or use it as a taco filling. 16 of 20. Sausage and peppers. Cook sausages that don't require browning, that's right. The only appliance required for the sausage and peppers recipe from the Salty Marshmallow is your slow cooker, unless you also want to toast the buns. 17 of 20. Seafood Sayapino. Seafood Sayapino is a warm blend of both fish and shellfish in a tomato-based broth. This version from Taste of Home uses haddock, shrimp, clams, and crab meat, all of which are stirred into the slow cooker 30 minutes before it's done. 18 of 20. Sweet potato chili. The most work for this chicken and sweet potato chili recipe from Taste of Home is chopping the potatoes, chicken, onion, and garlic, and we buy dried minced onion and minced garlic, which takes out half of that work. It's so easy that the recipe only includes one step: putting everything other than the toppings into the slow cooker. 19 of 20. Vegetable soup. A hearty tomato-based soup loaded with vegetables is the perfect cure for a rainy April evening. Feel free to include your favorite ingredients and exclude ones you don't like, but this version from Real Food Whole Life features celery, carrots, green beans, potatoes, onions, tomatoes, and a handful of spices. 20 out of 20. White chicken chili. Juicy chicken, whole kernel corn, green chilies, and cannellini beans are the highlights of this white chicken chili from the magical slow cooker. These ingredients and a mixture of spices go into the pot, and in as little as 4 hours, it's ready to shred, garnish, and enjoy. 20